Hey everyone, Eric from Greybeard Adventures. I'm at Fitzroy Provincial Park today. Just gonna check it out. We're in early spring. You'll see in a moment, most of the snow's gone. There's still some patches here and there, but really beautiful day. Great weather to be out. I figured I'd come out somewhere not too far from home. So for me, this is about half an hour away. I haven't actually been in here too many times in spring, but I've been here many times over my lifetime, probably well over 100, because it's always been so close to where I live. So as a kid, my parents would bring us here all the time. Yeah, one of my favorite places to come as a kid. I'll show you why. Anyways, come along, let's check it out. There's a little babbling brook right at the entrance of the park. Probably doesn't run any other time of year, but this is pretty this time of year. Quite a bit of this exposed shale throughout the park. It makes a lot of neat features. What I find really neat here is you can see in the different layers there's different colored rock. So you can see over here there's some yellow. Down in here there's some pink or kind of purple. Right above it some blue. Then you get back to your regular gray, and then again another layer of that purple right above that. So it's interesting. So this trail that I'm on now is called the Terraces Trail, and you can see we follow along, I guess, what they've called the terrace, but a lot of big pines interspersed through here. It's very pretty. And we're just following along the terrace here. Look at this huge pine. All the way up, all the way up, all the way up, all the way up, and disappears. There's two more large pine right next to another huge outcrop. So there's one of the park's large bur oaks. As you know, oak is a hardwood, so it grows very slowly. So when a tree is that big, you know it's old. All right, everybody, here we are. What I believe to be the best feature of the park. Nice waterfall. As I mentioned earlier, I've been here well over 100 times, and it wasn't until last weekend when I came with my wife for a day hike that we discovered this. Beautiful. Let's check it out. Well, this is definitely not as neat as the waterfall, but check out the vines on that tree. Huge. It's covered. Tarzan would be happy here. And here we are at the bridge that crosses the Carp River. It's about right in the center of the park almost. We used to lovingly refer to it as the Squeaky Bridge as kids because the bridge was in such bad condition that anytime a car would drive over it, it would squeak like crazy, making you wonder if it would stay up. Anyways, it's much better condition now. Let's go take a look at the view from there. Here's the mighty Carp River. It's mighty this time of year, but trust me, in the summer it's barely a trickle. Enough that you could wade through, maybe in some spots to your knees, and lots of crayfish. So much fun for kids to come and hunt for crayfish. Lots of little fish too. And oh, here, look at this. Osprey. I just saw what I believe is a mink jump into the water down here. I'm just going to wait and see if he comes back out. I've got maximum zoom right now, so pardon me if I'm shaking. I'm not actually moving the camera that much, but at that much zoom, it looks like it. Oh, there he is. And actually, part of the shaking is because the bridge is shaking, the one that I just called squeaky and brand new and better. There he goes. So this trail is the Carp Trail, and we're going to go check it out because right over here is the biggest pine, what I believe to be the biggest pine in the tree, in that park, pardon me. Now that's a big pine. Yeah. See this? Ain't gonna happen. This is kind of like the General Sherman of Fitzroy Provincial Park. It needs a good name. If I think of anything, I'll post it on here. Look at that. That's impressive. You can't even see the top from here. That is a great, great tree. Here's what the forest looks like along the Carp Trail. A lot of hardwoods, and then right along the river here is where you get a lot of the huge pine. This tree's seen far better days. It's an old pine, decent size, and it's just going to return to the earth and probably feed the next generation of pine. That's looking back upriver at the Squeaky Bridge that we were just on. That's where we saw the osprey and the mink from. And I'm just going to continue heading down the Carp Trail. Look at the huge boulders of ice lining the river. We're almost at the point where the Carp River meets the Ottawa River, and things are a fair bit swampier down here. It actually smells like we're near the ocean. But you can tell that the water was right up in here because through the trees here I can see all kinds of huge ice chunks. Just across from us on the other riverbank, you can see a couple of bur oak. Be right behind my finger here. The bare branches. You can tell they're at least 100 years old just based on their size. Certainly not as impressive as the other ones that we've seen, but nonetheless, yeah, worth protecting. So I'm glad this park's here and serving that purpose. What I've noticed down here in the marshier area of the park is there's some sizable, I guess these are red maples. So the two that we're looking at right now, here and here, and then throughout the bush back here, it's quite a bit of it. So not only are we looking at a lot of huge white pine, bur oaks, but also some red maple. And just on the other side of the Squeaky Bridge, there's a nice section there with some really big hemlock as well, so we'll check those out. All right, we're back at the Squeaky Bridge. I think it's time to take a quick break, so we're gonna head down beneath it and just hang out there for a few minutes. I'm just gonna hang out here for a few minutes. Being under here reminds me so much of my childhood. We spent so much time here. Funny story, and actually happened probably, I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but there's a big pile of white snow over here. But so, I don't know, maybe 50 feet upriver. When my brother and I were 10, 11 years old, we were hanging out here, probably catching crayfish, maybe searching for frogs. And actually two things happened within a span of maybe 20 minutes. We ended up finding a frog that had its tongue sticking out, but the way its tongue was sticking out, it looked like it was forked, like a snake tongue. And we actually thought we had found the world's first vampire frog. So we were pretty impressed. Turns out I don't know why he had his tongue sticking out, but he put it back in, and then that's when we figured out what it was. And he swam off. And not even a few minutes later, I hear my brother, who was certain that there was a cat in the reeds over there, and I could hear him, "Here, kitty, 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 kitty," and he's walking towards it, and all of a sudden it dawns on me. It's a black and white tail. I don't know too many cats that have a black tail with a white stripe down the middle. Anyways, I'm like, "John, it's a skunk!" So he comes flying out of the reeds. We both went tearing off back to campsite. Thankfully, neither of us got sprayed. I guess the skunks around here are rather tame. If you leave them alone, they leave you alone. They see enough people, they understand that you're not going to hurt them, and they're pretty smart. They know they're almost invincible, because who wants to get sprayed? So, anyways, yeah, funny story. So I'm going to hang out here for a little bit, and then we're going to cross the Squeaky Bridge. This section over here, just on the far bank, is where there's a lot of nice hemlock. And actually I can see from here too, a fair bit of erosion on that bank. So we're gonna go check that out. Here we go. This is probably the biggest bur oak that I've seen so far in the park in terms of girth at the trunk. And there's quite a few other ones around here, relatively close to the same size. I'll just give you a shot down the little road here. In that same area with the bur oaks, we have here on the left that huge tree is a hemlock. It's pretty impressive, and then right behind it, another huge pine. That one's really tall too. Here's the section of the river that I was talking about that had all the erosion. I've never ever seen it like this. So this bank here has been solid and present. It's been here ever since I was a kid. And I guess in the last few years with all the rain due to climate change, I mean, we've had some significant flooding in the area, and yeah, this is what it's doing. So soon we're gonna be losing a bunch of those nice, beautiful, very old pines. I think we've seen enough large trees for today. As you guys know, it's just a really special park. So yeah, Fitzroy Provincial Park is definitely not known for having a nice beach, but it's all these other features that really make it special. The huge trees, the different types as well, the oak, the pine, the hemlock, even some maple. You've got two rivers. You've got the Carp River and the Ottawa River. Both are very nice rivers. You've got the Squeaky Bridge, which is fun for kids, and you've got the wildlife. And then let's not forget what I think is probably the crowning feature of the park, the falls, the waterfalls or the cascade. I could hear water trickling from a little ways off the road. I thought I'd come check it out. This is in one of the campgrounds, so you can see just over here, you might be able to see a few picnic tables. Anyways, here it is. Cascades down the side of the hill and trickles down through the campground. It's nice. And with that, we're heading back to the car and we're gonna head out. And here we are, we made it back out. That was a good day. Spent close to 4 hours in Fitzroy Provincial Park. Did you enjoy your time? Hey, Jasper? Yeah, we're gonna get him dried up and time to go.